Pain is something every human heart knows. Sometimes it's small, like a word that stings. Sometimes it's deep, a loss, a betrayal, a dream that didn't come true. We try to escape it, hide it, or bury it, but no matter how far we run, pain always finds its way back to us. What if the secret to peace isn't removing pain, but learning how to hold it differently? Today's story will show you a simple truth. The same salt that makes one glass bitter can disappear completely in a lake. Long ago, in a quiet village at the foot of the Himalayas, there lived a young man named Aaron who was tired of his own misery. He was good and hard-working, yet always unhappy. If the weather was too cold, he complained. If his friends succeeded, he envied them. If things didn't go his way, he blamed fate. Even in moments that should have felt joyful, he found reasons to be restless and bitter. His heart, though full of life, felt heavy, as if he carried a stone that grew larger each day. He often looked at the mountains towering above his village and wondered why peace seemed to belong to them, while his own mind stayed loud and unsettled. One morning, after another sleepless night filled with anxious thoughts, Aaron decided to climb the mountain to seek help. There was an old monk who lived high above the village, a man named Saran, known for his calmness and wisdom. Villagers said even the animals grew quiet in his presence. When Aaron finally reached the small monastery, he found the monk tending to a small garden of herbs and wildflowers. Saran's robe was worn, his face lined with time, yet his eyes were peaceful, like still water untouched by the wind. Aaron bowed deeply. "Master," he said, "my life feels bitter. No matter what I do, I cannot find happiness. How do I get rid of my pain?" The monk looked at him silently for a moment, as if weighing his words on the scale of wisdom. Then he nodded. "Come with me to the kitchen," he said softly. Inside, the air smelled of tea leaves and incense. The monk opened a small clay jar and took a handful of salt. "Put this in a glass of water," he told Aaron, handing him the salt. Aaron obeyed, pouring the water and stirring the salt until it dissolved. "Now drink it," the monk said. Aaron lifted the glass, took a sip, and immediately spat it out. "Master, this is disgusting," he exclaimed. "It's so bitter." The monk smiled gently, not surprised. "Good," he said simply. "Now follow me." They walked down a narrow trail through pine trees until they reached a wide, clear lake at the edge of the valley. The morning sun shimmered on the surface, and the air was cool and sweet with the scent of earth and wind. The only sound was the soft lapping of the water against the shore. "Now," said the monk, "take the same handful of salt and throw it into the lake." Aaron tossed the salt into the water. The crystals disappeared instantly, their ripples spreading gently across the silver-blue surface. "Now drink from the lake," said the monk. Aaron knelt, cupped his hands, and drank. The water was cool, clean, and fresh. "Do you taste the salt?" the monk asked. Aaron shook his head. "No, master. It's gone." The old man's eyes glimmered with quiet understanding. He gazed out at the lake and said softly, "The pain of life is pure salt. It is always the same amount. But how much it hurts depends on the size of the container you hold it in. If your heart is small like this glass, then even a little pain makes everything bitter. But if your heart is large like this lake, the same pain can disappear into something greater." Aaron stood in silence. He watched the sunlight flicker on the surface of the lake, each wave catching a glint of gold. The wind brushed gently against his face, and for the first time in years, his mind felt still. They sat there for a while, saying nothing. The monk's presence carried peace like a fragrance, and Aaron could feel that peace slowly entering him, not by instruction, but by silence. When they returned to the monastery, the monk poured 2 cups of tea and handed one to Aaron. The steam rose between them like a whisper of understanding. "My son," said the monk, "the world will not stop giving you salt. People will hurt you. You will lose things. There will be days when life feels unfair, but you can choose to live as the glass or to grow into the lake." Aaron lowered his eyes. He understood the words, yet a part of him still wondered how to make a heart that wide. That night, he couldn't sleep. He walked outside the monastery and sat beneath the stars. The sky stretched endlessly above him, calm, silent, infinite. For the first time, he thought about the people he envied, the things he complained about, the grudges he held. He realized how much of his pain was not from others, but from the way he carried it. He had been filling a tiny glass with every disappointment until even the smallest pinch of salt had become unbearable. And in that moment, something shifted. He decided he would no longer try to empty the glass. He would make it bigger. The next morning, Aaron began to change in small ways. He started helping others in the village, fixing the broken roof of an old widow, teaching children to read, sharing food with travelers who had nothing. At first, it felt strange. His pain didn't vanish. It was still there, but it no longer filled his entire heart. Each act of kindness was like opening a window in a room that had been closed for too long. As days turned into weeks, he noticed how different life looked when he stopped focusing on himself. The same village, the same problems, yet everything seemed lighter, easier to breathe in. He smiled more, spoke less harshly, and for the first time in years, he began to feel peace. Whenever life added a little salt, a disappointment, a harsh word, a difficult day, he would take a deep breath and say quietly, "My lake is wide enough for this." Months turned into years. The young man who once complained about everything became a source of comfort for others. People began coming to Aaron for advice, just as he had once gone to the monk. He taught them through example, not by preaching but by living gently. He showed them that pain doesn't disappear when you grow. It just stops controlling you. He often returned to the same lake where his lesson began. There, he would sit on a rock by the shore, watching the ripples move with the wind. Sometimes he'd drop a pebble into the water and watch it vanish beneath the surface, a simple reminder that even pain, when released, creates beauty as it fades away. Many years later, another young man came to see him. Aaron was now older, his hair streaked with silver, but his eyes held the same calm his teacher once had. "Master," the young man said, "my life feels bitter. No matter what I do, I cannot find happiness. How do I get rid of my pain?" Aaron smiled, a smile that held both compassion and memory. He reached for a small jar on the shelf, took a handful of salt, and said gently, "Come, let's go for a walk. Pain is a part of life. No one escapes it. It visits every heart, rich or poor, strong or weak. But how much you suffer is up to you. A small heart feels every hurt deeply. A large heart knows that even pain has its place, as a teacher, as a reminder to grow, as a signal to open wider. You cannot stop the salt from coming, but you can choose to become the lake. When you do, bitterness no longer rules you. Your peace becomes too vast to be disturbed." The monk once said that salt never changes, only the space it's given does. In the same way, life's challenges will always come, but the meaning they carry depends on the size of your heart. So when pain enters your life, don't curse it and don't run from it. Sit with it. Breathe. Let your heart expand until the pain becomes small within it. And one day, you'll taste life again. Not bitter, but clear. If this story brought you peace, share it with someone who's holding too much pain. Remind them that the answer isn't to throw the salt away, but to grow the heart that holds it. I'll be back soon with another story to remind you how to live with a lighter heart. Till then, breathe deeply, forgive quickly, and keep growing your lake.